Hello and welcome. Today I want to talk about building better habits. Look, this is one of those topics that seems pretty simple on the surface. Most of us already know what habits we'd like to build. We probably want to exercise more, spend less time scrolling, go to bed earlier, drink more water. We want to follow through on the things that we say matter to us. So knowing what to do, it's not usually the problem. The hard part is doing these things consistently once the initial excitement wears off and life gets busy again. There's a lot of habit advice out there and it makes it feel like you need to have a completely new routine, more discipline, or some kind of better system. My experience has been a little bit different. What I've found is that many habits fall apart along the way before they've even got a chance to take hold. The changes might have been too big, your own expectations might have been too high. One missed day turns into a week, and then before you know it, it's just easier to give up than keep pushing on. Real life has this habit of interrupting even the best plans. So work gets busy or you're tired, something unexpected pops up, and a routine that was easy a few weeks ago suddenly becomes really hard to stick to. It's easy to feel like you've failed when this happens, but you're just human. It happens to all of us. Habits that tend to last, they're often not the exciting ones that people like to talk about online. They're often smaller, a little more practical, and they're easier to come back to when you have had a bad day or a busy week or one of those periods in life where, things just do not go as planned. This is where affirmations can be useful. They won't build the habit for you. What they can do though is help challenge some of the thinking that makes consistency harder than it needs to be. If your inner chatter is constantly telling you that you're lazy, hopeless, inconsistent, or always failing, showing up gets harder and harder. By having a more realistic conversation with yourself though, this can often lead to better decisions. Today's affirmations focus on consistency, self-trust, and getting back on track when things don't go as planned. So let's get started. So in this video, I want to go through 50 affirmations for building better habits. Some of these are about consistency, some are about self-trust, and some are about starting again when you get off track. So towards the end, I will repeat a smaller group of the strongest affirmations again more slowly, so you can really sit with them. I do not need to change everything overnight. Small actions still count. I can build momentum one step at a time. Doing something is better than waiting for the perfect time. Consistency matters more than intensity. I'm allowed to start again without judging myself. I can make changes without making my life harder. Progress does not have to be huge to matter. I don't need the perfect conditions to take action. I can focus on one habit at a time. I can keep showing up even when I don't feel motivated. Repetition is helping me build trust in myself. I do not need to earn rest by overworking. Missing one day does not mean that I have failed. I can come back to my habits without having to start from zero. I'm building habits that support my real life. I can be disciplined without being harsh with myself. I don't have to feel confident before taking action. I can keep things simple. I'm becoming more consistent over time. I can create routines that feel manageable. My daily choices shape my future much more than putting in an occasional big effort. I can make time for habits that matter to me. I do not need to rely on pressure to get things done. I can build habits that support my energy instead of draining it. I can adjust my habits when life changes. I am learning what works for me personally. Better habits are built through repetition, not perfection. I can make gradual improvements without rushing the process. I can create structure without making life feel rigid. I can trust myself to follow through more often. I do not need to prove myself through extremes. I can rely on small habits to create change over time. I am learning to stop quitting on myself. I can support myself without constant pressure. I'm becoming someone who follows through consistently. I can rebuild confidence through action. I do not need to be perfect to make progress. I can recover from setbacks without giving up. I'm capable of creating habits that last. Starting again is part of the process sometimes. I do not need to punish myself for falling behind. I can reset without turning it into a crisis. I can return to simple habits first. I'm still making progress, even if it feels slow. I can focus on today instead of obsessing over the past. I do not need a Monday, a new month, or a perfect plan to begin again. I can learn from my patterns without beating myself up over them. I am building habits that are realistic for my life. Small, repeated actions can change a lot over time. Before we finish, I want to repeat a few of the affirmations from this list. These are the ones that I think matter most when you're trying to build consistency without overwhelming yourself. If you want to, you can close your eyes for this part or just simply sit quietly and listen. Small actions still count. Consistency matters more than intensity. Missing one day does not mean I have failed. I can return to my habits without starting from zero. I do not need to prove myself through extremes. Starting again is part of the process sometimes. Small, repeated actions can change a lot over time. I can keep things simple. I do not have to feel confident before taking action. I can rebuild confidence through action. Repetition is helping me build trust in myself. I'm becoming more consistent over time. Better habits are built through repetition, not perfection. I can support myself without constant pressure. I can focus on one habit at a time. Building better habits can look a lot less impressive than people expect. Most of the time, it's not a complete life overhaul. It's choosing to keep going after missing a few days, or it's doing the smaller version of something when you don't feel like doing it at all. It's letting go of the idea that every day needs to be perfect for it to count. Many people spend years starting over, waiting for the right motivation, the right plan, or the right time. Meanwhile, the habits that make the biggest difference are often the ones that become part of everyday life. The simple things, the boring things, the things you keep coming back to. If there's one idea I hope you take from this video, it's that progress still counts, even when it feels slower than you would like. Thank you for spending time with me. If you'd like some extra support around self-trust, consistency, and following through on the things that matter to you, you'll find a link to my free 5-day self-trust reset below. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.